to Sanju Verma on some of the things that we heard from Brinda Karat. You're objecting starting with the name, saying Nari Vandan. This reeks of patronizing patriarchy and it's unacceptable. What is this Vandan business? She's asking. Sanju Verma, let's start from there.
No, Rahul, I'm not obliged to respond to what Brinda Karat says about the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, reeking of patriarchy, because I'm an empowered woman in more ways than one, and I think it's a befitting name. But I just have this to say. I was listening to the almost 8 hours of speeches made by both the ruling party and the opposition. What struck me was Sonia Gandhi saying, "Ye apna hai. This is our bill. This is our idea." Rahul, you know it as well as I do, that at least on 4 occasions, if not more, be it H.D. Deve Gowda or be it Atal Bihari Vajpayee or even the Congress for that matter in 2010, there were repeated attempts to pass the Women Reservation Bill, but it never came to fruition. And I always say that an idea is only as good as its execution. So while the Congress, Sonia Gandhi and Jairam Ramesh pat themselves on their back and preach till the cows come home, ये हमारा Congress का दिया हुआ idea है, which has been used up by the BJP. The fact of the matter is, and the hard truth is, it may be difficult for some people from the opposition benches to digest as much. Who is bringing this to fruition? 454 people today voted in the Lok Sabha in favor of the Women Reservation Bill, which is not just a 2/3 majority, mind you. It means that 83.6% of the members present and voting gave a thumping yes to the Women Reservation Bill introduced by the Modi government on the floor of the Lok Sabha. Point number 1. Point number 2. Each time the Congress says that the BJP has changed its stance and suddenly it feels the need to show solidarity with the issues of women, I would like to remind them, and anyone who has an iota of knowledge in terms of political history, that in 2010 when the Congress brought this bill on the floor of the Rajya Sabha where it was passed,
okay,
it could not pass muster in the Lok Sabha. It was not the BJP. It was the Samajwadi Party and the RJD which actually did not support the Congress, and today the Congress is actually holding hands with the Samajwadi Party and the RJD.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, Dr. Shamika Ravi. This is, politics aside, this is a historic day. A day when India joins a global committee of nations which have affirmative action for women. How do you see this change and shape Indian politics from the time it actually gets implemented?
Well, Rahul, I think the time is right. This is, we waited long enough. It truly is a historic bill. And you can see there is bipartisan support for it. I mean, one can quibble about the details, but by and large, I think across party lines, you had great support for it across almost all national parties. So, this is good in the sense, I think now there is a pipeline of women leaders. A lot of those wrinkles have been ironed out. If you consider the fact that today almost half your Panchayati Raj institution elected members are women. Remember, the quota was 33, and today you have almost half.
But are you concerned that in the initial years, because this is a reservation that's to be applicable for 15 years to begin with, are you concerned that in the initial years, the women who get tickets are likely to be relatives, either wives, husbands, wives, daughters, mothers of sitting male MPs? Or is that a concern?
No, Rahul, because, those are not concerns for men, and you see lots of men who also get tickets on account of being relatives and so on. So, no, I don't think you should put that added burden. Also, remember that even if tokenism, etc., as a criticism does arise, again, Panchayati Raj, if anything, it's an experiment that tells you that it could start from there. But very quickly, it does develop a pipeline of women leaders. So essentially what this bill does is it lowers the entry barriers for women, which we know is much higher than for men. And in essence, that is what it's like, a market failure of electoral system. So we are never going to see enough women if you don't have a law. So, it's all good. And politics aside, I think it's truly historic. We have come a little late at it. Philippines started with 33, almost 33 years behind, right? And it has taken us some time, but I'm so glad we are here. I think the main concern, which I think the discussion ought to be around, is, are parties prepared with this kind of a party? You see, the tokenism and the kind of issues you are raising only become an issue if the political parties have not nurtured women within their party system. And I think the litmus test there becomes, if you study the constitutions of each of these parties, the national parties, and how close are they